Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hytale Podcast, where we are the Hytale Podcast and talk about the game, Hytale.
The game.
Yes. I'm Chris. Over beside me on not that side is Myne.
Mine, yes.
Yes, and we like Hytale a lot.
We do.
Mm-hmm. This is episode 3 of the podcast. Thank you guys for helping us reach 100.
We're going strong.
160 subscribers. That's crazy already.
Still less than Hytale Spins, though, so if you're not subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button right now. We're trying to beat Hytale Spins, the #1 Hytale YouTuber right now.
Yes, exactly. That by the end of the year, at least, that's the goal, to be at least 1.5k, because that'll guarantee us to be past them.
Correct.
Yes. Anywho, last week on the podcast, we couldn't pronounce one of the developers' names. We called it like Sciolito.
Scoilito. I think you said Scoilito and I said Sciolto. Turns out neither of those are correct.
Yes. We just want to clarify. Her name is Sciolto, not
Sciolto.
It is Sciolto, not Scoilito. We were close, but not very, very close. So yeah. Her name on Twitter now is Sciolito, so might have to keep that. But if you want to call her Sciolto, you can. Yeah. Just want to get that out of the way.
I feel like she's happy with any name, to be honest.
Yes, because she watches the podcast, all the Hytale devs, clearly, because this is the Hytale podcast.
That's true. We got like 600 views from the last episode, and those are, how many Hytale devs are there? There's
like 100 around there.
100? So all of the Hytale devs watched it 6 times. So thank you for Hypixel Studios for watching our podcast through and through every single weekday, and then taking a break on Sunday, of course. Because you need a rest day from us. You can't watch us every single day of the week, but we appreciate it.
Yep.
Just let that know.
Yeah, and we'll try to get all your names right. Like Buttercat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So there's one thing from last episode that we talked about, which was name reservation and what kind of name we want. And I ended up quoting from the blog post being like, every single name will be unique. So there can only be one Bob and only one Sally. And I was in a Discord call with a good friend of ours, Insidious, and he mentioned something that I've never really thought about.
Okay.
And it's the notion of free-to-play with unique names. Because if it's free-to-play, then you could just make 20 different accounts and steal 20 different names and never end up actually playing with them. And then what I ended up thinking about was, that's really easy to get botted.
Oh, so
Because the amount of people that can just bot, like, words in a dictionary. You literally just put, like, a bot's, like, programming to go through all the words in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. There you go. And just, like, clear out every single name. How will there be a preventative issue, or how is name reservation going to work if it's free to play? Because that's an issue, I feel like.
I think that would be a very big issue, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if the team knows the game's going to be free to play, that will happen. So I assume, this is not official, we're not Hytale devs for people who think we are. We have never played the game, even though a lot of people think we have played the game. We've never done any of that. Yeah, we'll get onto that a little bit later, because it is quite funny. But yeah, I would assume that the team has something, or even just maybe thought of something in place how to like prevent that. I don't know, maybe it's like, oh, maybe you can only make 1 account per day with your IP or something. I'm not really sure how that'll work. I mean, you can use a VPN and get around that, but that's kind of annoying. But yeah, I don't really know how that would work. Or maybe it could be hardware, maybe. You can only make like 1 account.
Like hardware ID?
Yeah, maybe like 1 account per day, depending on like your hardware ID. I've heard something about that in the past. I don't know how it works at all, how they get your hardware ID, or if that'll pass like any privacy policy at all, but who knows.
Yeah, I just thought it was super interesting because, I mean, we're going off the notion that it is free to play. If it's free to play, that's not going to be an issue.
No.
Because, well, you're going to have to fork out however much money the game costs to be able to create the name. And even though you're still going to be able to resell the game, the account, even though it's definitely going to be not allowed to sell an account, but that's never stopped anyone from actually selling an account.
There's so many websites out there.
There's going to be a bigger barrier, and it's going to be harder to automate because, I mean, I'm not a dev. I don't know how easy or not easy it is to set up a bot to buy a game, then create a name.
Yeah, I'm not
So
sure.
that's interesting. But going off of the notion that it's free to play, I really don't know what preventative measures there are because I'm trying to like think. I'm like while we're talking, I'm thinking of
Mm-hmm.
all the free to play games I know that have a multiplayer aspect, and most, if not all of them, I can think of have the like hash names where it's your name, then a hashtag, and then numbers or like a tag at the end
And
to
what? Then
like
you just like get a nickname or
separate
something?
you. Right, but that would go against what they said in the blog post being, well,
Yeah.
there can only be one Bob. Because with the hashes, everyone's name can be Bob, it's just their last numbers or letters are different.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, actually, now that you think about it, in a very old Hytale image, there were like names above players that I've seen, and
mhm.
I can't remember. I gotta find them real quick. Let me see if I can pull this up. It might. Okay, good. It doesn't show
I know
that.
exactly what image you're talking about. It's a
Yeah,
really old picture.
it's like the same guy with like a bunch of different names. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
think
the
Ninja
same
Charlie's
skin.
on there. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find that
Mhm.
old Hytale images. I found it. That was quick. Okay, so it has so all
Send
the
it over on
names.
Discord real quick,
Yeah, I will. I'll send it to you on Discord because it's actually
so we can
it's
have I can look
actually
at it.
pretty cool. I'm gonna have to minimize you real quick
Are
here.
you you're editing this VOD, right?
Yes, I'm gonna be editing the VOD. I'll
Okay,
put it
so
up on
you
screen.
put it on screen so everyone else can
I mean, people can see our
see what we're
DMs
talking
right now,
about.
but
Oh,
whatever.
did we say anything?
No,
Oh
no, no,
no,
no,
we just
nothing
linked
important. We just linked
the
our
Quiver
Twitter.
Corner tweet. Okay.
Yeah, old Hytale images. There we go. And I'll full screen you back up. Sorry, couldn't do it on my other monitor because you can only have one Discord open, which is stupid. But yeah,
Mhm.
so you should be able to see it.
that's the image I was thinking of too.
Yeah, we'll put it on screen for you guys because I'm actually gonna edit this one. Other times I just sort of put them up on YouTube. So yeah, so as you can see on this image, it's just
Right,
names.
and those are unique names.
Yes.
That's also a good like thing to think about is I don't know if it's even possible due to the hashes because think about like when you're seeing players in game, you're only gonna see their screen name. You're not gonna see
Yeah.
like screen name hashtag because that's gonna be really A, cluttered, and B, ugly.
Yep.
So if there you it wouldn't make sense to see like 20 different Bobs because then you can't differentiate them. So
Yes.
in a way it has to be unique names. But I hope this has been a discussion or like they found a solution within the dev team. And if not, hey, you're watching it. This is something you're gonna have to look out for.
Scoiolito.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
was also
that's something I'm kind of interested about.
yeah. I heard some people also say that like sort of take the Discord approach to it, like you know how everybody is different and unique, how they have the hashtag and it will only show like their name depending on the specific server they're in. So maybe if you're the first guy to get on like the Hypixel server and you're like, "Oh, my name, I want Bob," then maybe you'll be like the first Bob on there or whatever. Maybe there could be one per server, but then like if you go to other servers, then you can choose a different name and maybe change like your nickname on the server.
I don't know if that's a good idea though, because
I don't think
imagine
so.
the amount of impersonation that would
Yeah.
happen from that.
There will be so much
Because
impersonation.
there'd be so many trolls that would just like go in servers that you've never been in, but like are like say like a new up and coming server that you like we just haven't found out.
Yep.
They say they're us, have the same skin in it as us, and then troll and say like some really offensive stuff.
Yeah, of course.
There's,
But then they
there's
have
no way to
like,
prove that.
but the background check for it would be like the hashtag. Just say you click their name and like maybe do a little more looking into their account and just say like my name would be CanadianFlash like 001 whatever it is on Discord, and then just say theirs is like GamerBoy46 hashtag 69 or something like that. That'll be a good way of proof checking it. But I don't know if people would go into depth in actually doing that. It's a little one extra step which people are lazy and probably won't do.
Yeah, I don't know if that's really the best solution. Plus, that would also once again go against what they've said. Which,
Yeah.
to be fair, they can have changed it. They
Yes,
can
this
go
was
another route. This is
2019 or 18 when they posted this blog.
2018. It was on the frequently asked questions like as the trailer dropped. So this is now 4 years old information.
Yes.
So with a grain of salt, your name might not be the same.
Okay.
We'll just have to see. This is something we don't know.
Yes, let us know in the
There's-
comment section what you guys think. Like, what do you think the best name reservation model would be for the game?
Yeah, I'd love some discourse on that. And maybe you guys know like a solution
Yeah.
that we haven't thought about.
Yes.
One thing that has been brought up right after our podcast, so thank you, Connor, for that one for talking about it after we already talked about it, was Let's Plays. He made a big
Yes.
thread asking a bunch of creators to give their 2 cents about if Let's Plays are going to be viable for Hytale. So we've kind of already talked about this in the last episode. So thank you for making us talk about it again. But I think
Thanks,
it's
Connor.
a big enough discussion to go over it again because there
Hmm.
were some key points there. Just to like rehash, what are your thoughts on Let's Plays being viable for Hytale? And I know you tweeted like yes, no, 100%, but maybe a bit more detail on that.
Yeah, so the first question Connor has is, do you think competition for creativity, artistic, blah, blah, be hot-headed? Yeah, I think there will be Let's Plays. Like, there's gonna be Let's Plays. It's everybody, I mean, not everybody, people who like coming over from the Minecraft community are doing like, I guess, live Minecraft things, or people who are doing like modded content or whatever. They're gonna be doing Let's Plays. It's just what they're used to be doing. So yes, there's gonna be Let's Plays, and even if you think there aren't gonna be Let's Plays, there's gonna be Let's Plays. Like, even if a big guy's doing it or a big guy's not doing it, there's gonna be some small guy doing a Let's Play. It's gonna happen.
So I went through the comments and kind of grabbed like the general
Okay.
ideas of what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
Someone brought up a good point, being like, yes, no, because it's kind of evolved. Naming the 100 Days challenge, because in a way that is just a Let's Play. It's just a lot more involved with storytelling, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's kind of, and I agree with that. That's how like the genre has kind of evolved, is just a lot more storytelling. It's not just showing your every step and there's going to be a 30-minute section that's just going to be boring,
Yep.
because people are going to click out. So many things are fighting for your attention. You have your phone right next to you, and this thing is calling for your attention every single time. You got TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, whatever.
Yep.
So you as the creator are fighting for a person's attention, and if you were doing something really boring, like just setting up a farm for 10 minutes, building it block by block, without it being like a tutorial or something, because that's something different. If you were just like watching it for entertainment, it's going to be hard not to just like look on your phone and maybe like scroll through Twitter or something. And I've noticed that with a lot of TV shows too. It's not just like Let's Plays; it's TV shows too. Um, a lot of TV shows, I can notice myself just like unconsciously just picking up my phone and like scrolling through something because
All the time.
it hasn't like hooked me enough. And there's some TV shows definitely where I'm on the screen 100% of the time, and those are really the greats.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but even with shows that have incredible storytelling, and I completed the show and I'm like, wow, this is a great show, I've still picked up my phone.
I have.
And it's just so much harder with YouTube because YouTube suggests 10 other videos on the sidebar right there.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, hey, you are not watching this, click this one or click this one. You're going to love this one. So it really is just a fight for attention.
It is
And
big fight.
someone else brought up, I think it was Jamie, Panther.
Mm-hmm.
If I did get the credit wrong, I'm sorry. Brought up that Let's Plays are going to be more short form, like shorts or TikToks, and I also agree because it just like it doesn't require a lot of people's attention. It's like, okay, I'll watch a 30-second video.
I mean,
Okay,
personally,
now I'm done.
I wouldn't watch a 30-second
Well,
video
I wouldn't
on a
either,
Let's Play,
but it's just like the way content is evolving.
I know it's annoying. I
Um,
don't like it. It's short form content. It's not for me, man.
And it wouldn't be like a Let's Play of the way that we know it. It would be more of like, hey, I'm doing this in my world. Let me show you something.
Yeah. Or hey, fighting
so
the Yeti or whatever. Yeah.
yeah,
This is how I
think
killed the
that's-
Yeti, pretty much.
Yeah, that's actually exactly how it's gonna be. Is like, this is how I killed the Yeti, and then it's just gonna be like a short montage of it, and it's done.
And then
that's gonna be the entire episode.
yeah, and then it'll be like, oh, redirect you to my channel where you can see this in long form. Pretty much. That's probably how it'll go.
Maybe if they do the long form.
Yeah, if they do it, yeah. But like, even I don't think there's gonna be like, I mean, there will be, but I don't think most people are gonna be doing like 30 to 40 minute, hour long episodes. If anything, I think they'll record for probably that long or even longer,
They're
condense
gonna
it to
record
like
for much longer.
exactly, condense that to like 10, 15, maximum maybe 20 to 30 minutes. If it's like something really cool that's happening, like you're fighting a big boss, you probably don't want to cut that out. But yeah, it's just let's play content has changed a lot recently, and I mean, it's good and bad. Like, it's good that everything's changing over time, but also bad that like some things that you grew up watching is just not really relevant anymore.
I'm more like disagreeing of that notion because I see so many people being like, man, I hate the new YouTube generation. Why can't it just be like the things that I grew up with, the good old days, the 2 hour long uncut mining in a cave videos, and it's like,
Oh, thrilling.
you wouldn't watch that today. Go sit down right now and watch a 2 hour let's play of someone literally just mining in a cave.
Yep.
You are gonna be on your phone. You are gonna be wanting to do something else. Like, it's just evolved, and it's like, I feel like, how do I say this? Like, you are not this like special being that like is immune to a shorter attention span. You just aren't.
Nope.
Um,
Nobody.
so,
There's really a very select few people that are.
right, and I'm not saying like, there's going to be that one person that's going to be like, well, actually, I understand those exceptions, but for the vast majority, and it's really just nostalgia speaking. It's like, yes, those days were nice. We were kids. We had a lot of time. That's also a thing. We just don't have a lot of time anymore because most of us grew up as kids, and as kids, you could just spend your entire day watching something.
Yep.
Now we have jobs, school, blah blah blah, and other responsibilities keeping us from doing that.
Yep.
It was nice growing up with that, but we view it as rose-tinted glasses. Like, I don't see a single person like talking about how nice it was back then actually watching them today.
Yeah, and
I just don't.
Like, I do think there is this, like, some specific circumstances where that could succeed. Like, for example, if you're doing that in the live stream, you can't cut that down. So yeah, people will probably watch you mine for maybe a little bit longer than they would in a video, because then you can, interact with chat while you're mining, right? But
Yeah,
you can't do
let's
that
go
in a
into
video.
that. I think live streaming is the evolution of what Let's Plays are. Because if you are searching for that long-term content, the no cuts, the raw footage, watch live streams, and that's really what you're gonna get. You're gonna get that most like true and raw experience of it. But the reason it's not boring in a live stream is because it has that live aspect to it. You can talk to your creator, which you couldn't back then. Like, if you were watching, let me name a creator, Captain Sparkles, you couldn't just like, as he's mining, tell him something. He reads your message and he replies to you. Think about how cool that would have been when we were like 10 years old.
That would have been awesome. Like,
Now
for example,
that is an option.
in a video, if just say they were mining, they missed like an iron or diamond or gold or something, you can say it in the comments section, but it's not like Buddy's gonna go back.
I remember
like a
those
week.
so much.
Exactly.
I remember those so much.
You're not gonna go back, and then maybe in the next video, Buddy goes back and mines a diamond that he missed like 2 weeks ago. But like, it's just not live, so like, it matters, but it doesn't matter as much back then.
Yeah, so there's just so many more like aspects of entertainment to live because it is live. There is an interactive portion. You have a chat that's constantly moving, assuming you're not a dead streamer. And then you can also interact with the chat.
Yep.
And then there's even more things. Like the streamer can be playing like videos on the side, have like Family Guy funny moments in the bottom corner.
It's so funny.
It's just
I love Family Guy.
It's just evolved.
It has.
So, yeah, that's my take on it. If you are really wanting the like in pursuit of the long form content, you're not going to find it on YouTube. I think I say you're not going to find it on YouTube, but YouTube streaming is growing.
I think
so
YouTube streaming is even better than Twitch streaming right now.
You won't find it as VOD content. You'll find it as live content.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, if people were to upload their VOD content, I think you got to cut it down, condense it, make it actually entertaining, because watching a replay of a stream is nowhere near as entertaining as watching the stream live.
No, right, and at that point it would be like a stream funny moments.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Then you're not really watching it because of, hey, this guy got like 20 diamonds in this run. It's like, this guy made a funny joke here. Okay, cut to the next joke. Cut to him dying. Cut to him failing. Cut to him dying.
Yep.
Etc.
Yeah, and so, I wanted to get your take on this because I grew up watching like Beijing Canadian Hunger Games and all those really things. That's what I used to do all the time. I used to go on the Nexus, grind out those games, target Beijing when he was in the game, like every child used to do. But do you think that form of content could succeed at like just straight raw Hunger Game footage or straight raw like Skywars footage instead, like not edited, not or anything, like how they used to do it back in the day? Will that succeed?
Not the way it was, but raw footage can still work as commentary, and Redunes, for example, is proving that. He makes videos where he just talks about a random topic. For example, his video being like, where was or like what happened to Hytale. He just plays Hunger Games. Yeah, it is kind of cut up, but it's cut up so that it like breaks up the pauses of him talking and not because of the game.
Okay.
So yes, no. If you're gonna be watching like a raw Hunger Games clip, you're gonna be watching someone talk about some topic with Hunger Games in the background.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think it would have worked that way. Still, maybe if like Beijing came out of like YouTube retirement and did it, it would work for him because that's like his core audience is Hunger Games. But
I don't think so.
he's
I think
probably like the only
because
one
he
who can do
didn't
that.
evolve. I don't. I think because he like just didn't evolve with the time is the reason his channel's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can see the amount of like Minecraft YouTubers that are still on top today. They just
Yep.
evolved.
Yeah, like Vic,
They
Preston,
didn't
Lachlan,
do the.
like, they're doing well.
Those are like the only three I can think of right now that actually like made it. There's still some people doing some videos, but they're not getting the views they were before,
No,
and they're not really relevant anymore.
No.
But yeah, they just evolved with the form of content, and at some point, the evolution is just moving to a different game.
Yeah, for sure. It is. That's just how it is. And who knows? Maybe they'll come back to Hytale.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's likely. Maybe not like the super big guys, but I think a lot of the people that maybe lost their hype in Minecraft and are still going, they're definitely going to jump over because it's an opportunity. It's a new opportunity.
I mean, MrBeast has interest in Hytale, so I'm pretty sure if he goes to the
Mr.
game,
Beast does have
anybody else will come to the game. So we got that going for us.
He'll definitely make videos on it. I think that's a 100% surefire thing. He did videos on Apex Legends when it came out, simply because they sponsored him. He loves playing League of Legends. He's a big League of Legends head, and so he likes Riot stuff. Riot sponsors MrBeast to play Hytale.
I mean, MrBeast, he got his Squid Game video was sponsored by like a mobile game called Brawl Stars, and he literally like they sponsored the whole thing. He made it like I guess an ad read sort of whatever they wanted, and that game got so like millions of players after he did that Squid Game video. Also, the video did get like 300 million views.
It is his biggest video.
Yeah, but like the Brawl Stars, they know how. They targeted the right video at the right time to get as many players as possible, and then you log in, you get a gift from MrBeast right when you log in after that video happened. So if Hytale does something like that, man, holy cow, that would be nuts. Like imagine like a MrBeast hat or shirt because with the customization features in the game, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, like a creator bundle.
Yes, exactly. Like sort of. I don't want to say like what Raid Shadow Legends does, but yeah. Or
what is Raid Shadow Legends? I literally don't know anything about that game.
You literally just a creator like says, hey, get this, and then you use their I think link or code to download Raid, and then you get like 10,000 free gold, like bunch of gems.
Oh, but that's a referral code.
Yeah, it's like a referral. I don't know what Fortnite does. I've never played it.
Every game has that.
That's true. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about like Fortnite where MrBeast is a skin in the game, or Ninja is a skin in the game.
That's fair.
So you could have like MrBeast MrBeast merch as like your a clothing accessory. I think that's
so
that
awesome.
Could be a possibility.
I would not be surprised if that's in Hytale. And I mean, I want my own stuff in Hytale. So like, if MrBeast gets his stuff, then like maybe I can get my stuff.
Oh my god. Okay, so let's talk about that. About like Hytale creator support. And we'll stay on the same topic. Like YouTuber merch in Hytale, and then like you buy it, and like some sort of the proceeds go to the creator.
So like creator codes or something.
Well, yeah, I think they're gonna have creator codes, but like literally an item in the game that has like the Canadian Flash logo as a hoodie.
That'd be so dope. That'd be like the dopest thing ever.
Well, I mean, I don't really have a logo. I have like a
even Bitcoin
really
miner.
Pixelated. I have a really pixelated profile picture. So
just get a pixelated hoodie.
Something for me. But yeah, let's go on your example because it's harder for me. Like just like a hoodie with the Canadian Flash logo on it, and then people can buy that hoodie for like I don't know, $2-3, and you get like a % kickback for them buying that hoodie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of games do that. I don't really play many that do, or if they do, I don't buy them. But yeah, I think that's really cool. I'm gonna go back to Brawl Stars because I used to play that game a lot, and I still do sometimes. And they have creator codes, obviously, which makes sense. And then you type it, just say into the shop. I think that's how most creator codes work. And just say you buy like a $19.99 pile of gems, whatever. The creator gets maybe like a 2, 3, 4, 5% kickback depending on the level that they are in like that Supercell creator program, I think it is. And that sort of incentivizes you to work your way up, right? So I think that would be really cool for Hytale, like getting kickback, obviously. But as a creator, I mean, I'm kind of biased, but yeah.
Yeah, I think creator codes. I mean, creator codes are in so many games. Call of Duty has it. Fortnite has it. Brawl Stars has it. It's just a really good way to combine community with the developers and supporting everyone, because not only is the creator going to be pushing their creator code, obviously,
Yeah.
if they get a kickback.
Hey, money!
It also
Wow.
it also just means the devs get free advertisement and like a free push for consumers to buy their product. Because I mean, if you're going to be shouting out your creator code when you buy something in the shop, use my creator code, blah blah blah. Boom.
So,
You know, you get a lot more people buying stuff because they want to support their creator, and then they're indirectly supporting the game as well, or like
yes.
vice versa.
Yeah, and also some things that other games do, like also to incentivize the people to make videos and basically free advertise the game, is giving them early access to like new features in the game. Maybe giving them a little heads up to like a road ahead that could be coming, and you make a video on that for like the news channels. I think that would be really cool because obviously
What do you mean a road ahead?
So there's some
what does that
games that, I mean, I play this one, and it's another mobile game. It's called Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, and then every couple of months, I think it's like quarterly or like every 6 months, they give you like a road ahead on what to expect in like the coming year, and then all the news channels.
Oh, like a timeline.
Pretty much, yeah, but like they don't have like specific dates. They sort of like give you hints. They hide things in like the messaging that you sort of got to decode,
Gotcha.
which is fun for the news channels and just for like any commentary channels on there. So I think it'll be cool because we're creators, whatever. We'll like, oh yeah, we'll love to see new content, but then the news channels, like I don't want to leave them out, right? Like maybe if they can talk about like straight up news or whatever's coming in the future, that'll be good for them. So yeah.
Yeah, so I think the road ahead thing, I don't know if Hytale specifically is going to do that. Yeah, I really don't think so, because it's also a different kind of game.
Yeah.
With a different audience, and like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to work. I think creators can't, well, no. I really don't think creators are going to get anything ahead or like early access, apart from, say, like a special creator beta.
What about, like,
Apart from that,
new
I don't
updates,
think
like,
so.
Sort of what Minecraft gets.
Yeah,
Right?
I really don't think so. Do creators get Minecraft updates earlier than the public?
Do they? I mean, no, they don't. Oh, I thought they did.
No, they don't.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
One thing I know is that Apex Legends has like a creator, like invites a bunch of creators to play an update early, but
Yeah.
it works for them because it's a different type of game. I really don't think Hytale's going to do that.
Okay. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
It's an interesting concept, and it's definitely a fun way to like have a good connection between the devs and the community, and make people really want to watch certain community members. But I don't think it's the right thing to do for Hytale. It's just not a good fit, in my opinion.
Good to know. Good to know. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
What do we have?
What else is next on the running
The
list?
We have a big list, guys.
Massive list. Like, we're never gonna run out of topics here.
Let's talk about competition from other games.
Okay.
When Hytale comes out, do you think it's gonna be hard for it to survive? Let's go under the assumption that it comes out. I want to say next year. I really do. And then
But the full release or the beta?
Full release.
Okay.
But a lot of people are saying it's 2025.
Okay.
And I don't want it to be 2025. So let's just assume 2024.
Let's go with December 2024 because that's like 5 years.
I would
from
say
the
definitely.
announcement.
I would definitely say end of 2020. It's not going to be early 2024.
No.
So if it is end of next year, do we know any game that's coming out? I don't think so.
At the end of next year,
I think this is the year that has like all the big games. We got the Harry Potter game that's like absolutely dominating right now.
Like amazing right now. I never played it. Never watched Harry Potter. Probably never gonna play it. But yeah.
It got like 1 million concurrent viewers on Twitch.
2024
so really popping off.
Games. Let's see.
There's
nothing
Breath
really.
of the Wild. There's
Black Myth. Earthblade.
Oh, are you looking for next year?
Moo Genetics and Everwild.
I've never heard of any of these.
I've never heard of any of those either.
So 2025 is pretty open right now. I mean, to be fair, I mean 2024. Sorry.
It's like nothing. I mean, I'm sure games will get announced at like the
upcoming
EGX
games, yeah.
and Summer Game Fest and everything.
Yeah,
But yeah, it doesn't
this
look
year.
like anything. Wow.
Because I know 2023, this year is going to be absolutely massive for gaming. Yeah, we got Hogwarts Legacy, we got
Jedi
Diablo
is coming
4,
out. Star Wars
oh,
game's
Jedi
coming.
Survivors coming out.
I'm hyped for that, by the way.
Resident Evil, another Horizon game. Oh, I think they'll do.
Did Elden Ring release already, or is that
Elden Ring released? Yeah,
it did.
last
Okay,
year.
I never
Yeah.
played it. So yeah, I didn't really
I think. What is that one game called? Damn, forgetting it.
GTA 6.
Dude, imagine if, oh my god. I actually so hope that GTA 6 doesn't come out in a time near Hytale, because that's... No, I mean, it's a different audience.
Much
it's a completely different
much
audience.
different.
So I actually don't think... I think it's fine then. Yeah.
But like the amount of
I don't think
attention
there's an
that game will have.
Right. I think it's because of publication, because once Hytale is going to come out, obviously everyone's going to talk about Hytale. But if GTA 6 comes out in any near time frame, no one's going to be talking about Hytale.
I mean, I will be personally. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But I think that's the only real big game that's announced, because everything that has been announced for years has come out or is coming out now. So
remember when people back in the day were having the debate, they're like, oh, what will release first, Cyberpunk or Hytale? And everybody's like, oh, definitely Hytale, right? Because Cyberpunk kept getting delayed, and then nope, Hytale still not out. Yay.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that were compared to, like, oh my god, is it going to release first? Cyberpunk, Overwatch 2 had like the years and years of delay. The Zelda game that's coming out, I think March now. That was also just like talks and didn't have a date. So all of those were believed to be like maybe later than Hytale, but Hytale is persevering through and
still going.
Coming out. Hey, we're saving the best for last, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And I mean, whatever. And there's a lot of games that are released now that will be really big competition to Hytale. Like obviously, elephant in the room, Minecraft, big competition towards Hytale. I know that they don't, the game doesn't, or the game devs don't want beef between the two games, but there's gonna inevitably be comparisons. You know, they got Fortnite, which is still popping, Valorant, any of those like Riot games like League of Legends or whatever, they're all gonna be popping out. So it'll be hard to see. Like
it's just an idea of like different player bases, because I don't think any League of Legends or Valorant players are really ever going to play Hytale. It's
probably
just
not.
Such
Maybe
a different game
like,
and a different audience.
If it's free, probably they might check it out, because you know Riot will probably have it on their launch or whatever, and they see like, ooh, new game Hytale, yeah, I'll check it out.
I guess because it's going to be a Riot game.
Yeah, we also don't know if it's on the launch or not.
That's actually a good point. But I still think the player base is like so different. It's not really going to matter. The only real competition that I see is going to be Minecraft, and maybe I think people are wanting. Terraria is not big enough. Terraria.
No? Okay.
People are going to hate me for this, but Terraria is dead. Ooh. In comparison, people obviously still play Terraria, and I'm not bashing on the game. I'm not saying anything about it being good or bad. It's just like in terms of relevance and in terms of size, not one person's talking about Terraria. Everyone's still talking about Minecraft.
Of course.
That's kind of what I mean.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, I can already see a bunch of people talking in the comments being like, oh my god, well, Terraria, blah, 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 blah. That's not what I'm saying. That's not at all what I'm saying.
Yes. Are there any other block games out there, like Cube World?
Minecraft's the only block game that's relevant. And I think because it's Hytale's fresh and it's new, it's going to be able to top it for a while and then like slide under, but still be in good competition. Because we have to think about what kind of impact it caused when the trailer came out. Every single Minecraft YouTuber that we know of made videos on it.
Pretty much.
This is the Minecraft killer. This is Minecraft 2.0. Everyone saw it in a positive light.
Yes, they did. 100%.
There weren't people like, oh my god, what is this? I mean, sure, there were, but it really wasn't a big amount. Everyone was super pumped about it, and the only reason people are negative about Hytale 2 is because of their delays, and because it's not coming out, and people feel this kind of... I'm trying to think of the word. I keep on wanting to say words, but it's like in the back of my head, you know?
Yeah.
It's like they're obligated to the game, but like you're not. They are working on their thing. They have a vision for it. You aren't the person really that they're working for. They're working for a larger audience.
Yes.
Like you're not that important in the light of things. And I think it's funny when you look at like all the Twitter replies whenever anyone tweets, it can be literally Noxy tweeting and replying to some person's charity and being like, "Oh my God, this is fantastic! What you do for the world." And then there's going to be people in his comment replies being like,
"Oh yeah,
so when's Hytale coming out?
When's beta?
What about Hytale?
Beta when? Beta when?
Yeah.
Yes."
And I mean, obviously, it's obnoxious, but like those people don't matter in reality. And there's also the people that are like, Hytale's not coming out. It's over for me. You are not gonna have me as a customer. And it's like,
oh no, it's free to play anyway. You know, like
I'm
dang.
sorry. 1 out of like 58 million is still pretty much 58 million. Like,
oh, that's such a small player base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you gotta, I think of the same exact comparison when you think of like big stores and people being like, well, I'm not gonna shop at Walmart anymore. It's like, okay, the Walmart CEO really cares that you are not shopping there anymore.
The funny thing is, all these stores are like, oh, but customer service #1, you know, everybody matters. But then you lose like the $200 that maybe that person shops for every week. It's like literally nothing.
Yeah, it's funny, but hey. There's the positive people in the community, and I think that's really all that matters. Because I mean, the devs have said themselves it like helps them. It helps them develop their game and go into work every day, knowing that there are people that are still genuinely excited for it and making content, speculation, art. I know that's the big one pushing them. Podcast.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are single-handedly actually the reason that Hytale's getting created right now. If we didn't create the podcast, they would lose motivation.
Yeah, exactly.
So, to all of you watching right now, keep watching the podcast so that the devs can keep developing the game.
I know, yeah, like you said, I know the devs, each dev watches this podcast 6 times, so like thank you.
Correct.
But you know, the other like 50 people that watch this podcast, you know, 650 views around there, like thank you, appreciate y'all, y'all the best.
Yeah, it really is that way.
Cool. You want to get into some listener questions now from last week?
We have listener questions. Okay, let's do it.
Because there's a few. We had one. I mean, probably more than one.
There's a few. We had one. That's...
Yeah. So, Mr. Halo for the win. I got the names this time. Asked us. I didn't like copy it or anything, but like I just sort of remember it. And he's asking if there's going to be some sort of like electricity or like redstone equivalent in Hytale.
I think the easy answer is going to be yes. I think the harder answer is going to be how.
Yes. And I mean, we literally see in some like Hytale images that there's air conditioning in Hytale. I mean, personally, as a refrigeration technician, like that's literally my job. You need to power those things, okay? You need to power them. They have to run maybe 240 volts. Some of them are 600 volts. Like, I doubt Hytale will be that in depth with electricity or anything. Like, you're not gonna have a little 600 volt connector or something. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's like wires or like power lines like we saw in like a futuristic image for Hytale. Like we saw, like, remember the guy with the little gun in his little armor, and you can see like I think there's power lines in the back of that image. So that's really cool. But yeah, I think there will be, you know. Most of what we've seen in Hytale is sort of like archaic and sort of rustic themed, right? Like, or maybe steampunk. So it's sort of like, yeah, you get a candle light up your space, or fire instead of like electricity. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was other ways of doing it.
I think they can go the route of like the steampunk instead of the electricity, because of the fact that we've seen it be a little less modern than what we're used to. Steampunk and more like a fantasy way of creating an automation system, it would be cool. Because you also have to think about with electricity, with the thunder element or thunder magic.
Yes, like lightning magic.
Yeah, lightning magic.
Maybe
so like,
it could be, maybe electricity could be maybe more of a later on thing in the storyline, right? Like, we don't know about Zone 5 or Zone 6, but a lot of us assume that Zone 5 will be lightning and Zone 6 will be like the void themed or whatever. And a lot of other people were saying that Zone 5 could be like a sky island. Maybe that sky island is just so advanced that they have electricity up there, and once you get up there, then you have access to that sort of technology.
ooh, that's a super cool way to think about it. Like, automation is locked behind like, hey, you gotta reach this point in the world that like preserves this kind of electricity, and there's like cool ways to capture it and bring it back and like use it for your own sake. I think that's
Yes.
a really cool way to think about it. One thing that I want to mention is the Sky Islands. Like, how are you going to get onto it? And we've seen.
Skypiea. The knock-up stream, dude. Have you not watched One Piece?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Uh,
spoilers.
the one thing we have seen is like the hat with the little rotors on top of it
We've seen jetpacks too, right?
and the
Or
jetpacks.
the propeller backpack. Yes.
Yeah, the propeller backpack. Let me look up the Hytale jetpack.
It's in a concept art. It's like
Yes.
modes of
Yeah, I'm pulling it
transportation
up right
concept
now.
art. Yeah.
And so that's not electricity. I don't see any electrical component in there, but we do see a lot of like steampunk elements, and it could be
So,
powered by.
like
I really think it's going to be like
gas powered.
because we see there's a back propeller that has gears. So I think it's gonna yeah, I think without a doubt it's gonna be like a steampunk. It's gonna be like a more I don't know if conventional is the right word, but like yeah, just not electricity, not like I mean they could do like a fake element like redstone from like the Zone 5.
That's fair.
And then a lot of people are saying like, hey, what about Create? And Create has really blown up recently in the Minecraft community, and for a good reason, because it makes it feel more vanilla, and it's a great way to automate things. And it doesn't use electricity. It uses natural forces to power things, similar to how
Well, like wind
we're,
and
we're
water.
kind of seeing it. Yeah, like
Yeah.
wind. So you can get windmills, or like
That's
water
already in
to get like
Hytale.
water wheels.
We've already seen
Um,
windmills in Hytale.
Right. And so adding like a functionality to the windmills or like water mills, I think that's going to be the way to go. And so whatever you know about Create, I think is going to be more logical than Redstone when it comes to any sort of automation systems in Hytale.
Yeah, I don't believe we've seen any like water wheels in the game at all so far. I mean, maybe we have in
Let me
like in an image
at
of
one
like Zone 1,
image.
Zone 2, or Zone 3. Sort of like, you know how they're just in the water, right? They're just spinning around. But I don't think we've seen that. We have seen windmills though, which is really cool. And I don't know if they spin or not. Haven't seen really them in the game. Well, we've seen them in the game. Haven't seen them with like live action or whatever. But yeah, it'd be really cool to see something like that. And are there any other ways of creating electricity like that? Like maybe you can do some sort of friction or something. But
Yeah, there's a bunch of ways, and I'm sure the Hytale team can get creative with that. One thing also, because we were talking about steampunk, obviously steam. Steam could be a cool way to power it, and then you get like
course.
pipes to transfer the power of that. So I think one thing I like about Create and like a steampunk aesthetic is just the look of it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like how you can make it look really pretty. Even if you don't actually use them for automation, having like a bunch of pipes running all over the place and like an air compressor or something just working on the side, I think can add so much aesthetic and feel to your world that
Yeah, for
even
sure.
if it doesn't automate. And like you talked about the air conditioning, I don't know if it's gonna have a use. I think that's purely aesthetic.
I feel like if anything, you would have to make like maybe a small air conditioning unit if you want to make a fridge or something, because every fridge has its own refrigeration like system in it. They're
Yeah.
just like a lot smaller and compressed. But also, just say for example, you want to make like a big cooler or freezer. Maybe some houses just need that if you're like, I don't know, if you want to be a butcher or something, storing meat in like a cooler. And maybe you make a big cooler, like a bigger room that's cold. Maybe there's like some sort of panels that keep the cool in or high till, I don't know. And then that keeps your food preserved for longer, maybe. But that's very in depth. I'm gonna be honest. That's very in depth. But also, speaking of in depth, there's a lot of ways, like we said, of creating electricity. Like we know there's like friction, there's heat, there's light, there's like literally chemical ways of creating like electricity and all that. So Hytale can go in depth as much as they want. It's just how in depth will they go?
Yeah, and the idea of air conditioning brings up the idea of like a temperature system, which is cool. And I know that someone like Hakon has done a video on a temperature system.
It'd be so awesome.
It would be cool, but I think it also would be kind of annoying in a way if the only way to live in a desert, and I'm sure there's going to be alternatives, is if you have to build an air conditioning unit. I think that sounds kind of silly.
I mean, we also
'Cause
haven't seen them in any Zone 2 house so far. Just saying.
right.
Like, they're in beach houses, but, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
they're hot, but I don't know.
Because we've also seen stuff like neon signs, and I really doubt I'm saying this, but it could be true. I think those are also just like they automatically light up. Just like be a magic or something. I don't know. Or like some
Whatever.
bioluminescence liquid inside of the glow tubes.
Yeah, there's some sort of chemical reaction that you got to do there. Maybe you don't have to plug it into a wall. You just sort of put it in, right-click it, turns on.
Because I'm thinking of like how you would power it, and I guess the only like way we could compare it would be like redstone lamps in Minecraft, how you have to give them a power source. But I'm thinking like these are neon signs. These are going to be placed outside on a wall. Where are you going to fit the powering inside of the house? It's going to be
like, are there wires? I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
So I think a lot of things are just for decoration and just work.
Please, maybe you can't even get those like blocks in like the specifics like adventure mode. Maybe you can only get them in your open world sort of creative survival world where you can do let's plays. I don't know, but will be cool. Will be cool to find out.
That's a good idea to think about. Like, where in the world would you find an air conditioning unit? Like, thinking of the story.
Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. Like, I don't know, where you're Varen's lair and he's just sitting there in his cool, nice, air-conditioned house. Like, I don't know.
He's got like a massage chair.
Yeah. Massage, cooling, heating. It's awesome. He's got like one of those car seats. Like, it's so cool. Anywho, we have that's enough talk about electricity because we think there will be, but who knows? I asked a question on our community tab, which we just unlocked. Let's go. Hyped about that. Moody, only one to reply because I did it like 5 minutes before the podcast. Whoops. He asked, how complex do you see combat in Hytale getting with the new changes, combat rolls, crits, etc.?
I'm going to let you start off with that one because I know you're super excited about the combat.
Oh, I am so thrilled about Hytale combat. Like, I mean, I've been let down of Minecraft combat since really ever. Like, yeah, 1.8 is fun, 1.7 is fun, 1.9 plus, in my opinion, sucks. But it's very repetitive. Like, if you're doing 1.8 PvP, you just click as fast as you can, use a rod, click as fast as you can. Like, it takes like no skill at all. Like, and then in 1.9 plus, it's like, oh, you use a shield, you get an axe, break the shield, hit the guy with the sword or whatever. It's really not the most complex system. I mean, whatever. But Hytale's combat looks so different, and it seems like there's multiple ways of using like different weapons. Like, we've seen the guy with the daggers, he does like a little jump attack, he's done a little dash attack, he just starts swinging really fast. So yeah, it's really complex, and that's not the only weapon in the game. There's, you know, swords, long swords, axes, like war hammers, and all these other things. Like, also, I'll put a concept art of like a axe or weapons concept art on the screen. Like, there are so many different weapons that you can even use for just melee combat, range combat, like wands and staffs and everything. There's spears. There's so many things you could do, and I could spend a whole podcast talking about combat.
Yeah. So I'll go into the abilities and like the rules of it because that's what I'm super interested about.
Oh yeah,
I love the idea of it.
So cool.
We've seen a lot of different weapons and how they're used and different like abilities they can use. So obviously every single weapon is gonna have like a default attack where we're just gonna go off of the idea that it's on PC because obviously there are mobile things. So you just click left click and you swing, say, your battle axe. We'll just use that for an example. Boom, boom, boom. There's ways to already make that kind of combat system unique. And it's having like a combo system. So you hit it once from the right side, once from the left side, once from the right side again, and then you do like a fourth hit that's like from the top or something. So you have it like your left click chain is a chain, and it has like a set amount of hits, and then it like resets and you do that chain again.
Yep.
The other way would be you just click, 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 and it's like the alternating thing.
Yeah. But we've seen in a weapons like video of a guy literally swinging an axe, and he goes like up, down, left, right, up, back, up, down. You know, he's doing all these crazy things with it. So I'm not sure if the knockback will be different per each hit. For example, like, you know, you get hit from like going like top right down to like bottom left, you go bottom left or whatever. But then you get the uppercut attack. Maybe you get more up knockback. So could be interesting how combat works.
Yeah,
that way.
I think that'd be so cool if like certain weapons have those chains, and you could really. I'm thinking of it like going super in depth, kind of like fighting games. How say your jab has like 4 properties, and all of them do like slightly different knockback.
Yeah.
The damage wouldn't be different. I think that'd be kind of hard, or maybe like the final hit does like
more.
a crit
Yeah,
damage.
yeah. That's cool.
So like ways you could chain that, and like different like animations in that have like a different cooldown. So like your first 2 hits are fast, and your second one's a bit slower, and then the fourth one takes a long time to hit, and then you could like cancel that with an ability. I think if that's the case, that opens so much like opportunity to be creative and have like really cool chains. And then the abilities are so cool.
So cool.
I'm gonna use the daggers for example, because the daggers are probably the coolest ones.
The coolest one. I can't wait to master those things.
The daggers have you like dashing, they have you jumping.
I'm like really spinning. It's freaking awesome, man.
I'm really interested to see how many types of combos or like abilities you can pull off with that. If it is 2 per weapon, if it's 3 per weapon, if certain weapons have more and certain have less. Obviously the daggers let you move faster than say a club, so it's gonna be yeah, because it's easier to run with daggers than a club. That brings the idea actually of like a held item, because in a lot of games if you hold like your fists you run the fastest obviously, but if you hold like a really heavy gun for example you move slower. Is that the same case in Hytale, where if you hold your club out you're just gonna be walking slower? So it's like a built-in slowness and speed effect.
I believe so, and we've seen in the skeleton battle video, I never really looked at like the speed the player was running compared to like a speed of somebody with a sword like we've seen in other videos. But I mean, I'm gonna compare that after the podcast. Because Buddy's
that's a rabbit hole we're down now.
Exactly. Now Buddy's running with like a club, right? He's running full speed, at least running into the battle after they open the door. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe, because Ninja Charlie, I think in that video was using a sword, I believe, not really too sure. So maybe if Ninja Charlie's pulling away from him, then yeah, there's different speeds. And for example, maybe a super attack or like a special attack with the club will take longer to charge. Like the big like overhand shot will take longer to charge than like,
I definitely think
like a dash for like a spear or something. So that's cool.
Yeah, because we saw with that skeleton video, the like when he jumps over the pit, it takes a pretty long time to charge up. It was like a good 2 seconds or something.
Yeah, and then
1.5 seconds, 2 seconds.
You're probably very vulnerable.
It leaves you really vulnerable.
It does, yeah.
So it's got to do a lot of damage, and it does. Obviously, we saw it in the video.
One hit, one shot those skeletons.
It's gonna be so interesting, and knowing how many different types. So I think the abilities themselves are going to be separated between weapon archetypes and not weapons specifically. So like one dagger is going to have the same ability as a different dagger, but like swords are going to have different ability. I wonder if there are like special like maybe story daggers that have like one extra unique ability. So like you kill a boss that does a special move with his daggers, and then when you get his daggers, you can do that special move too now.
That would be really cool. But we also seen like the demonic axe, how it has some sort of like life steal ability, right? And the fire sword, obviously, I assume it lights people on fire. So yeah, there'll be like more legendary.
So we'll have different weapon
Weapons.
properties.
Yeah, I mean, there's also different weapon rarities as well. So the game, I mean, going back to Moody's question here, very complex, and I hope it's even more complex than what we're talking about. And honestly, I believe it is. So, short, long answer to Moody's question.
Yeah, I think the weapons are going to be so fun to play with, and my goal, because I really have like this bad habit of just picking one weapon and just doing that the entire time, because it's either like the most fluid to use or the best. I really want to make sure that when I play the game, I use every single weapon.
I want to,
because
yes,
especially in games, I almost never use spears because they just do no damage. But I want to use spears in Hytale just to know them. I want to know all the different weapon types, and maybe there are like really good purposes with spears. I think I'm going to say this probably in every single episode, but because I've been replaying Breath of the Wild, I have been using more spears, and I've noticed like, hey, spears are actually really cool because you can just hit enemies from so far away.
Yep. And,
And
you see how
obviously
far we can throw them in Hytale? Like, they can
that's
throw
the
them
benefit.
very
Yeah,
far.
you can throw spears too. So I wonder, that's a good idea. Like when you throw your spear, you're gonna be super vulnerable. Is it like a different type of spear maybe? Or some spears not gonna be able to be thrown? And then like maybe different spears have like different properties when they're thrown. Like one's a super precise one. One has like an overhead arch. One pierces, etc.
You never know. Like, maybe you can get some sort of enchantments, right? Like Minecraft enchantments in Hytale. I doubt it, really. I mean, maybe you can, but maybe not.
I think if there's they're definitely not going to do enchantments like the way it is in Minecraft.
No,
I
definitely
think
not. No
first
way.
off, that's going to make the comparisons way too much, and I think they want to avoid the comparisons.
Yes.
I think it's going to be because you can find a lot of weapons in chests. Because we've seen one of the like someone opened a chest and there's a sword in there. I think they're gonna have like weapon attributes already in them, and maybe you can like forge a weapon with a certain attribute, but I don't know.
Like,
I know there's gonna.
do you think maybe you open a random chest in like a goblin den, you get like a stone sword, and then maybe that stone sword will do maybe more or less damage than like a default stone sword? Maybe it's like sharper, maybe it's duller. You think that could be?
Yeah, it might have like some text in the description of it being like
Rustic stone sword, it's older, maybe breaks faster, who knows.
yeah, maybe that, or like badly said, sharpness.
Yeah,
You know, they're not going to use the
exactly.
same wording, obviously, but
It's
like
possible.
some kind of
It
some kind
is
of like
possible.
keyword.
Yeah, and let me pull up that concept art real quick. I just want to see if they do have like the names or anything. So
Or it just straight up does has like either it does like has like a message that just says like +3 damage, and it's like just raw number increased damage, or it has like a damage up.
Yeah, so in that
text.
little concept that we have, there's like Chork sword, and it says like there's two swords going together like this, and it says 7 to 13 and then 8 to 9 DPS. I guess that's more like a middle ground, I would assume. But and maybe 13's the max, 7 is like the minimum, but then like 8 to 9 is sort of like the average damage that you're gonna do. It also has
image?
Yeah, I'll send the image to you as well. We're gonna have to minimize you again here, Myne. You know, whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, this is a long podcast, by the way. We're about an hour in right now.
Oh, we're an hour in. Wow.
Alrighty, I know. I mean, we could just talk about Hytale forever. So
Yeah.
I just sent it over. There you go, sir.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Yeah. We'll talk about this image and then we can finish off.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do this.
Torque sword 7 and yeah, dude, it's been so long since I've seen this image.
Yeah,
oh
it's
my
been
god.
so long. But then
Yeah, no, this is okay. So I'm talking out of my. I always pause myself from cursing because I'm like, we don't curse in this podcast, but we do. Like,
we do.
every single time.
Whatever.
Yeah, I was just talking out of my ass, but like it literally has the like text underneath it. Wow, dude, this would have been so much easier to just look at.
That's why I have everything on standby.
Yeah, once belonged to a Soul Reaper, so you killed a Soul Reaper from that. Some of the damage you deal is reflected back at you.
So, wait, hold on. Does this mean that a Demon Soul Reaper is a mob in Hytale?
Wait, there's so many things. Okay, wait, do we want to save this image for a future conversation?
I think we have to. We're just using it as a reference right now.
There's so much to unpack in this conversation. Okay.
Absolutely. So, Moody, yes, it'll be in depth.
Yeah, it's going to be very in-depth.
Next week, talking about combat.
We've just gone down a very, very big rabbit hole here.
Yes.
That's going to be the end of the podcast. Once again, if you want to listen to Spotify, the link is going to be pinned. One thing that we're adding, bro, there's like 5 people still at the end of the episode. I don't know how many people actually. I think it's like in the single digit percentage of people.
That's okay.
But if you're still here, shout out to you.
We love you.
We are going to add chapters for the different topics that we talk about, so it's a bit easier to navigate. Maybe if you don't want to listen to the Let's Play discussion, you can just skip over to the next one, and we'll try to do that for every single episode going forward.
Yep.
And I think that's about it. So
yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you next time. This is the podcast.